Hello and welcome to Chuck's Diecast and Model Reviews. Today we are going to be taking a look at this model. This is a little out of character from my page, but this is still a diecast model, and it is a Supermarine Spitfire Mark 9. This particular model is made by Forces of Valor, and actually it is a pretty nice model, all things considered. For those of you who don't know about the Spitfire, of course, this is one of the most iconic planes of World War II, along with maybe the, the P-51 Mustang, perhaps the Corsair, the Japanese Zero, the B-17 Flying Fortress, and probably the Messerschmitt as well. And really, this was, of course, the plane that was, along with the Hurricane, responsible for Britain's victory in the Battle of Britain in 1940. This is, however, a Mark 9, which is a later version, post Battle of Britain. Did have some improvements over the models which were used in the Battle of Britain. If you can see here, this plane has 6 exhaust stubs on either side, because it had an uprated supercharged Merlin motor. I think it gave it about 1,450 horsepower, something like that, and a top speed of a little over 400 miles an hour. So it needed probably more exhaust stubs as opposed to the 3 on either side that the earlier ones had. And I think it looks a little better anyway. The Mark 9, this generation is sort of my favorite, just because the exhaust stubs, do make it look a little tougher, but it still retains the tail of the earlier models. The later models had sort of a little bit slightly deeper tail, and it came to a point on the end. It's not nearly as elegant looking. The even later models than this had a different engine. It had an engine called the Griffin in it, and it was getting to the point where it was just starting to make the the plane look ugly. It's sort of like how Lamborghinis kept slapping stuff on the Countach to keep it relevant. Well, of course, when they put in the Griffin, they lengthened the nose. They gave it like this giant 5-bladed propeller. Like I said, it had the less attractive tail, and they even got rid of the little spine here and gave it a bubble canopy, which, although that is more useful for the pilot to see around him, it didn't look quite as good. But this model does have a few details in here that, features, I guess you could say, which are kind of nice. First of all, it does have a sliding canopy here. Let's go ahead and slide that back. And if you notice here, it also has a door, which maybe you guys didn't know about, that does open to allow easier ingress and egress of the pilot into this, what looks to be a really crowded cockpit, or a really cramped cockpit anyway. You can look and see here that it does have the 4 20mm cannon, the 4-blade propeller for, to provide more thrust given the larger engine. And also you can see here that the engine cover comes off, so you can go ahead and see that lovely Merlin engine. Now you may notice here that underneath here I have the model sitting on a piece of sandpaper. That's because this model is sort of like the regular Spitfire, and it has a somewhat weak landing gear, also a narrow track. But this model is made of solid metal, and it's really kind of heavy. And so if you look at this model wrong, the landing gear collapses. So that's why I put it on there, just to give a little more grip to the wheels, so they won't, the landing gear won't retract there. The model does have movable ailerons, and it does have movable tailplanes as well, which this one moves less than this one, which is a little bit strange. It'd be nice if they moved in unison as well. And the rudder does move also. Okay, you can see here that the paint scheme is very nice. It does give a little bit of, I guess, a hint of wear there. They've put a little wear on there and some supposed streaks of dirt on there to give it more of that, along with the behind the cannons there, which probably should be gray and not brown. Underneath here, you can see, well, I'm just sorry there, but I just lost my engine cover. But you can see here as well that it does show dirt and dust streaks, and nice detail in here as well. So I'm pretty happy with this here. Okay. All right, and well, in conclusion here, again, this is a model which is worth the, I believe I paid about $100 for it, and is well worth that price. If you get it by the per pound price, like I said, the weight of this thing does kind of amaze you when you lift it. But it is a very good model, and I do have a couple of other 32nd scale models in by a similar company, but they are actually in plastic. I may review those as well, but we'll see. So anyway, I hope you appreciate it and like this video, and if you'd like to keep watching these videos, just go ahead and like my page as well. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching Chuck's Diecast Model Reviews.